Welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Jennifer Stika Balfour, and I'm a psychology department faculty member, and I'm also the psychology program coordinator. First, I wanted to congratulate you on your acceptance to UNE. This is a very exciting milestone in your life, and we hope to give you a better sense of what it's like to be a student here at UNE today in this session. And more specifically, we want you to get a sense of what it's like to be a student majoring in psychology at UNE. Joining me today are several UNE students to share their experience and thoughts about the student experience here at UNE. But before we hear from them, I'm going to just start by giving you a little bit more information about the program. The psychology department is located on UNE's beautiful Biddeford campus, and we're just steps away from the ocean, and we actually have our own beach access. And the psychology department is primarily housed in DeCary Hall, and we're one of the larger programs in the College of Arts and Sciences. And currently we have more than 200 majors and another 200 students are minoring in either psychology, mental health and rehabilitation, art therapy, neuroscience, or animal behavior in our department. And our students are supported by 13 full-time faculty members representing a variety of fields within psychology, including clinical, social, developmental, cognitive psychology, as well as neuroscience and animal behavior and conservation. And we've structured our department to expose students to core concepts and skills related to psychology, while also enabling them to identify and focus their studies on a specific discipline. With a psychology degree in hand from UNE, our department alumni are either enrolled in advanced degree programs, or sometimes they're pursuing careers in a variety of fields right out of college. And as you may already know, psychology is a very exciting field of study with very positive outlook on jobs right now. The Bureau of Labor Statistics expects psychology-related jobs to rise at least 19% over the course of the next couple of years. And that number looks even higher for mental health-related psychology jobs. So it's definitely a great major right now. Psychology careers span many fields, and at UNE, we specialize in preparing students for employment in mental health, education, research careers, business careers, but our students also have the option to customize their classes to fit a different career path. And some examples of that would include working in government jobs, human resources, or forensic psychology, for example. And we take UNE's motto of turning passions into professions very seriously and really make an effort to help students to determine what career path is best for them. So now that you know that psychology is a great choice as a major, let me tell you a little bit more about what sets UNE's psychology program apart from other schools. If I had to say in one sentence what makes us unique, I would say that we're able to offer our students world-class opportunities that they would typically only get at larger universities, while still having a close-knit, smaller university feel to it. Each member in our department is committed to building an environment in which students have the chance to maximize their potential. We really work hard to keep our class sizes small, making sure that we enable students to build more productive and meaningful relationships with the faculty in our department. We can also offer students applied classroom experiences, including conducting research in the classroom. So every student does this as part of a class. But we also offer some students the opportunity to work in first-rate research laboratories with our faculty, really getting immersed in the research process, presenting and even publishing research. Because our program is solely dedicated to undergraduate education, the experience students obtain in our labs are comparable to what you would typically receive as a graduate student at another institution. All of our students are also completing at least one internship, and many of them actually complete several, through our well-developed network of sites that have accepted our students into their organizations for these training experiences. And for many of our students, these internship experiences lead to jobs upon graduation, which is very exciting. Our undergraduate program covers a range of topics in psychology, as I mentioned earlier, and they're designed to really match the many dynamic career opportunities in this growing area. And in addition to areas mentioned earlier, we also offer elective classes, for example, in forensic psychology, art therapy, and sports psychology, just to mention a few. And our students can customize their experiences by choosing a specific track within psychology, or also by declaring a minor in another field that UNE offers. So thereby they can take advantage of the many experiences that we have. We also have obviously studying abroad experiences, which are very unique. Our students can get involved in on-campus activities and clubs, just to name a few opportunities. So as I mentioned earlier, I have several students with me today that can tell you a little bit more about their experience here at UNE. So let's go ahead and meet them. All right, so I have 5 students with me today, and they're going to introduce themselves, and then they're going to talk about a little bit more about their experience here at UNE and what really attracted them to UNE. So I'm going to first turn it over to Nicole Martin. And Nicole, if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Nicole Martin. I'm a junior psychology major with minors in neuroscience and special ed. I chose UNE not only because of the beautiful campus just by the water that really felt right, but really because of the strong psych program. I've known for a long time now that I wanted to pursue a grad degree in clinical psych, which has some incredibly competitive programs. Because of that, I really wanted a psych department that was going to set me up for success. I wanted many internship and research opportunities, while it was still a small enough school to develop relationships with faculty. I also really wanted to be able to customize the program so I could get what I wanted out of it, and I've definitely found that at UNE. UNE was actually one of the few programs with a neuro minor out of all the schools I was looking at, and I'm so glad I chose the program because of that. The neuro minor has added so much to my education, both looking really great for jobs and programs that I'm going to be applying to, but also really pushing me outside of my comfort zone academically, which I've absolutely loved. Along the way, I've even gotten to pick up a special ed minor, which has really helped me expand my understanding of the field and add lots to my resume. One of the key experiences of my undergrad career so far, though, has really been in my research opportunities. When I was in high school, I really didn't understand why research was so important or why I should care about it at that time, but I knew that it was important to grad school, so I was willing to give it a try. I ended up meeting my academic advisor, Dr. Sigo Balfour, at orientation, and when I met her, she mentioned that she was hiring for her research lab. Her research sounded really cool, and it really felt right. So after talking all summer, I ended up joining her lab the fall of my freshman year. Since then, being involved in research has been one of the best things that's happened to me in my undergrad. I've gotten to meet so many people with similar interests as me, and it's really pushed me to be my best as a student. I've learned so many skills that help me be more successful in my classes, such as writing, reading scientific articles, how to cite sources, so pretty much all the stuff that I didn't think would be important, but now I know really is. And it's also helped me be an incredible candidate for both jobs, that I'm applying to. I'm doing graduate level work. I've been able to help develop a study. We're currently working on a study that's investigating the impacts of e-readers on older and younger adults. And I've been able to directly help not only with the development of that study, but with data and data analysis, which is graduate level work that I'm so incredibly lucky to be helping with. I've also had the opportunity to serve as a lab manager and do so much more with my research, such as presenting at both regional and national conferences, in addition to working on manuscripts. These are the experiences that grad schools are looking for, but it's also helped me personally to figure out where my interests in psychology are and figure out really what I want to do after undergrad. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing that experience. So next up, we have Erin. So if Erin wants to tell us a little bit more about his experience, that would be great.
My name is Erin Tyler, and I'm a psychology major that I'll be graduating in the next couple of weeks. I was actually a neuroscience major for the first 3 years here at UNE, but switched to the psych program at the beginning of fall 2019. And luckily I was still able to transfer all my credits and continue to graduate on time. I originally chose UNE because of the credible research programs that are here. When I was looking at the neuroscience department research, and I was fortunately able to work with Dr. Meng in an animal research lab working on mice for 2 years, and I really learned a lot, and it helped me shape my career path. But excuse me. So I did an internship this past fall for the Office of Child and Family Services through Maine State DHHS. I worked with developmentally delayed youth and behaviorally deficit youth, and it really opened my eyes and showed me like what kind of population that I wanted to work with. And I really decided that I wanted to work with kids because they're the future of our planet, and I really think that's something that needs to be worked on. My internship experience hadn't really been replicated in any class, so it was a new situation when I was in it. It really focused on children at all, but it helped me make connections that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. I hadn't taken this internship experience. Yeah, that's about all I have to say.
That sounds awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Erin. All right, so next we have Jenna's experience. So Jenna.
Right. Hi everyone, my name is Jenna Kinetico. I am a senior psychology major and I have a minor in anthropology. I chose UNE for 2 reasons, the location and the size. And if you hear these reasons from many people, it's because it's true. The location is just unbeatable. Being on the coast and having a beach on campus is amazing and a great way to take a quick break from homework or just to hang out with friends. I always knew that I wanted to go to a small school, and UNE was perfect for that reason. The small class sizes really allow you to get to know your professors and your classmates. Another great thing about UNE are the extracurricular activities. There are so many clubs and activities to join either within your major or just extras that you want to be a part of. And if there isn't something for you, you can always create one. For example, I actually founded the women's club volleyball team on campus, and I'm so glad that I was able to give students this opportunity to continue playing the sport they love if they didn't want to pursue varsity. The great thing about the psychology department is that there is a major required internship course that was mentioned already. I interned at Sweetser, which is a community health center that offers mental and behavioral health services for children, adults, and families. I was specifically in a residential cottage that served adolescent boys with trauma histories, ADHD, and behavioral issues. The great thing about the internship course is that you get to apply so many things you learn in the classroom while you're at your site. I was able to apply so many skills and key terms in classes like abnormal psychology, trauma and recovery, theories of counseling, and many more. Another important aspect about the internship course is that you can either find what you want to do in the field or find out that this isn't what you want to do, and that's completely fine. The great thing about this department is that everyone is so supportive, and if you find that your internship site isn't for you, you can always take it again, and there's always people behind you to support you in that process. Luckily, I was placed in the area that I do want to work in the future, and I'm so excited to utilize my internship experience into my future endeavors. Lastly, for me, I actually worked in Dr. Siegler-Balfour's research lab on campus as well, where we focused our research on reading comprehension and cognition. I'm so thankful that I was hired into the lab because it really helped me develop as a student and as a professional. I obtained and improved on so many skills while working in the lab, such as completing data analysis, public speaking at symposiums, collaborating with other lab members, and even the wonders of Excel. I truly believe that I would not be the student I am today without working in the lab, and I hope students take advantage of this unique opportunity as an undergraduate student.
Thank you, Jenna. And that was a very important point that you mentioned, right? For some students doing the internship, it's, finding their true passion. For other students, that it might be realizing that maybe what they had originally thought, was their passion really isn't what they want to do. And then they can do another internship, right? Through our extensive network, we really have many different opportunities that students can take advantage of. So I think I'm glad that you talked about that. And I love that you have the chirping birds in the background. All right, so next up we have Niko. So Niko, if you go over and talk a little bit more about your experience.
Hello, my name is Niko Ganas. I am a senior psychology major. I have a minor in biological sciences. I actually came to UNE for the medical biology program and changed my major to psychology. And like you were saying before, Dr. Espy, I kind of switched my passion, and I thought I wouldn't have been able to find that if I didn't have these smaller classes and different professors that I can talk to and kind of go to their office hours and not have to wait for a long period of time to be able to see someone. And I initially chose UNE because of the location, because you just can't beat it. It just makes you happier to be in Maine, to see the beach, to be able to do different things around Biddeford and get to know everyone in your dormitories and outside of classes and things like that. And it wasn't until recently, I would say my senior year, that I realized the potential of the smaller classes and how I kind of took it for granted in the beginning. I think for the most part, you're going to realize that being able to talk to your professors and get to know them and make those connections is the best part of coming to UNE and being able to set yourself up for getting a great letter of recommendation or creating your own network for any potential help that you can get. So for example, Dr. Morrison kind of led me into where I was for my internship this past semester at Equality Maine. And it was because of Dr. Leclerc's Psychology of Aging course that led me to be Equality Maine, but working with Sage Maine, which is the older LGBTQ community. And because of that, I kind of fell into potentially working in gerontology once I graduate and go into grad school. And without the experience of being able to talk to everybody, I don't think I would have gotten that relationship that I could have formed at a larger school. The smaller school let me meet different people and that maybe I wouldn't have even talked to once. I was lucky to have class with everybody in this Zoom meeting and get to meet everyone and kind of bounce ideas off of each other. But I think once you get to UNE, it's going to be a great experience for you, and you're going to have a great time no matter if it's online or if it's in class. And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Niko. And I'm so glad you brought up kind of the point of, but it's good to sometimes keep an open mind. You might come to college thinking you want to do one thing, but then along the way you take classes, you have different experiences, and that can really shape, what you ultimately want to do. And I think that's one of the unique things about UNE as well, that right, you can do that at UNE, but you can change majors, as Erin pointed out as well. And, you might think that in psychology, you want to do one specific thing, but then eventually you realize that you actually maybe have a passion for something else. So thank you so much for sharing that. All right, so we're going to switch over to our last student, Liv, who's going to talk about more of her experience.
So, hi, I'm Liv. I'm a psychology major and I have a minor in special education as well. And I'm going to be a senior this upcoming year. So just to cover why I also picked UNE, I definitely picked it because of the extracurricular activities. I knew that I wanted to stay in New England and I wanted to go to a smaller school that also had small classroom sizes so that I could create these connections and not just feel like a number. That wasn't something I was ready for yet. And so when I was really looking at these schools, I knew that I wanted to keep, I never wanted to keep a door closed. I wanted to make sure that I had as many doors open as possible. And I wanted to find a school that encompassed all of that. And that was definitely UNE. They have a ton of clubs. So I played field hockey for most of my life. They had club field hockey, so I didn't have to feel pressure to play varsity. And of course, they have research and many different leadership positions and stuff like that. So I knew, regardless of if my interests changed, which they definitely did my first year in college, I changed a lot that first year and realized a lot about myself. I never wanted to put myself in a position where I would have had to possibly change schools. And so that's why I picked UNE. I felt like there was a lot that I could get out of it. And they definitely do offer a lot, to say the least. Another thing is that I did come back from studying abroad this semester. So I studied abroad in Sevilla, Spain. A great thing about UNE is they have a ton of study abroad opportunities. So you can actually go to Sevilla, Spain, Morocco, in Africa, or you can do a study abroad in France. But you also have a third option to study abroad in a different location. So you can set that up with your advisor. I have a friend who actually just studied abroad at the University of Sydney, so you can do that too. And we have a ton of travel courses. So there's a lot of studying abroad opportunities. It was a great experience. It really is everything that people talk about. I had a great host family. I learned a lot about different cultures, and a majority of it is traveling. Lots of your professors push you to travel and expose yourself to a lot of different places. So I also went to Switzerland and places like that. And it was absolutely amazing to expose yourself to just something a little bit slower pace and something different for sure. So that was just, yeah, it was just amazing to say the least. So some extracurriculars I'm involved in. I am a tour guide and an orientation leader on campus. They're just a time and a half to say the least. They're just a lot of fun. I joined it because I did fall in love with UNE extremely fast. I wasn't expecting myself to actually love it as much as I did. And when I got there and kind of exposed myself to the community, I just loved being around the people, and to be able to spread that to incoming students and just to have fun with it was something that I was really drawn towards. I wasn't at UNE my first year, so to be able to show people everything it had to offer and then more was something that I just really wanted to do, because I didn't necessarily have that my first year. So to be able to do that was just an awesome opportunity, and I'm still doing that all the way up into my senior year. So that's a lot of fun. And then lastly, I am involved in research on campus as well. I'm in Dr. Long's lab, where we look at interpersonal violence and kind of look at like the bystander effect in a way. So if someone observes something like inappropriate or an attempt at sexual assault, how students our age interpret that and are likely to intervene. So it's just a really interesting lab to kind of look at a really hot topic nowadays and a very serious topic, and see how that applies to students our age and people our age, and to really see what the main problem is on why these percentages of sexual assault and interpersonal violence are so high. So it's just a really interesting lab to apply to our age, and of course looks great going into graduate school. So even if graduate school or studying abroad or extracurriculars is an interest or not, UNE definitely has it. So if at any point your interests do change, which it is very likely that they will, you figure out a lot about yourself once you join college. UNE definitely has plenty of doors, and like it was already said, if there isn't one that you feel like is open for you there's no one stopping you from making that. So I really encourage you to like look into every single part of it, because I highly doubt you'll be disappointed. So that's kind of my experience so far.
Perfect. That's a perfect note to end on, right? Keep an open mind and just explore. So I love that you said that, Liv. So thank you to everybody for sharing your experience. This has been fantastic. I hope this gave you a sense of what it would be like to be a student at UNE, and specifically in the psychology department. So if you have any questions, please don't be shy, reach out to us. You could either reach out to me. Again, my name is Jennifer Stika Balfour. You can find my information on the website. You can also, of course, reach out to our department chair, Dr. Patricia Long, or really to any of the faculty members in the psychology department. We're also happy to connect you with some of our students if you want to talk more to them. But it was wonderful, getting the opportunity to do this today, and we hope we'll see you on campus in the fall. Bye.